गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. Om Tat Saditi. We are in Jnaneshwari, verse number 25, OV number 369, and we have seen in the 23rd verse Om Tat Saditi Nirdesho Brahmanhastrividhas Smrutah Brahmanastena Vedascha Yajnascha Vihita Puraha. It said with Om Tat Sat. This is the name of the Paramatma, and it is known as the threefold designation of Brahman, and by that the Vedas, the Brahmanas and the sacrifices were ordained of old. Vedascha Yajnascha Vihita Brahmanastena Brahmanaha Tena Vedaha Cha Yajnaha Cha Vihitaha Pura. So Brahmana is the what you call, the Vedas are the scriptures, Brahmanas are the people who propagate or follow the scriptures, and how they do it through the sacrifices. So this is from the relative standpoint in the world. This is how it is done. Where do the mantras come? In the Vedas. Who practice? Who chant them? Who practice those mantras? Utter those mantras? The Brahmanas. And how do they do it? While doing sacrifice. So here it is told that when we chant by these three syllables, or Om Tat Sat, the Supreme is it's another name for the Supreme. Let's put it this way. And then in the next verse it was to, now each word in the next three consecutive verses, Om, Tat and Sat will be addressed. And with regards to Om, it was told, where are we? Tasmad Om ityudahritya yajna dana tapah kriyaha pravartante vidhanoktaha satatam brahmavadinam. In the 24th it was told that one, now you have understood that Om Tat Sat is another name for Brahman, for the reality, for the supreme pure truth. By uttering Om before any activity, and what are those activities? Acts of sacrifice, tapa, charity, dan, and sacrifice, yajna, charity, dan, and austerity, tapas, are begun as prescribed by the knowers of Brahman. So in other words, we'll take 2 points. One is the wise people, and the other are the ignorant people. So how can ignorant, who are unaware of the scriptures, they are not able to study the scriptures, they cannot understand the scriptures, they want someone to put their hand, some Mahatma to put their hand, or God to come and bless them, pahimam, se rote raho bas pura din, like a beggar, keep asking for grace. For them who are not able to, no intellectual acumen, or they have not developed it, they are just, majority people are like that. Democracy is always of the fools. So seekers are only few. Among those seekers who are committed to the truth are even few. And after having committed to pursue it single pointedly without getting distracted are even fewer. And what to talk about those who are established in that, reach the destination? Very minuscule. So, those who are wise, those who are established, when they say do something, whether when you take Shankaracharyas, they are doing dan, they are doing pujas and sacrifices, they are doing tapasya, they always chant Om Tat Sat, or they chant Om here, Om. And those who are, because they recognize that everything is starting from Om, they're doing that out of knowledge, out of wisdom. But the ignorant people, they can also begin every act by chanting Om. Then what will happen? It will bring purification to them, bring about purification in them. And over a period of time, Om before the act, Om during the act, Om after the act, with whatever the result comes, take it as prasad, Om Tat Sat, or just Om, or Om Namah Shivaya, whatever, doesn't matter. But it should be Om. Then what will happen? Over a period of time, our mind will have a acumen developed that it starts becoming available to that unseen principle. Because an ignorant person, he is not able to recognize himself as the self as the ultimate. But he becomes available that there is some higher principle which is continuous. And what is that? Om. And as a result of his focus on the Om, purification starts happening within him. He stops getting hijacked by the senses or the mind, and thus eventually he comes to be, as a result of that purification, then where there is purification, their knowledge will automatically be revealed. And that knowledge is not objective in nature. That knowledge is subjective revelation. Subjective revelation doesn't mean that subjective revelation by way of thought. No. Subjective revelation means where the thought merges back into what its meaning is. So what is the thought? Om. And where has it merged? Into itself. So what is that Om? Paramatma, Brahman, Atma. And where has that Om, which we are continuously chanting at speech level or mind level, it has merged back into itself. That is revelation. When that happens, where knowledge continues but without thought, oh my God, knowledge continues without thought, and that is your direct experience. There has never been a time that you have been absent. See? So with this, in this manner, we can approach this Om. Now, next one is Tad. Yesterday only we saw in Ishavasya Upanishad that 6 times the word Tad was said. Tanayjati, Tannayjati, Taddure, Tadvantike, Tadantarasya, Sarvasya. I can't remember the next word. Bahyataha, last one. Tat, 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 6 times. What is that Tad? Tad is that. When we are told Om Tat Sat, Tat Twamasi, in that also the Tad is coming. What is that? That you are that. Here also tad is that. Om was personal, subjective. Tad is, because as a seeker, as an individual who is thinking that he is the mind, he is an individual, for him there is inside and outside. For him there is inside and outside. So inside is Om, outside is Tat, or I should say outside totality. How did I explain last week? Just towards the end of the satsang. Om Tat Sat is addressing, you can put it in this way, I don't know if it will come in the explanation, but Om Tat Sat can be put in this way. Our world for us is Jeev Jagat Ishwar. This is the play between Jeev Jagat Ishwar is the game of life that is going on. Ishwar, you may believe in Ishwara or you may not, does not matter, but there is some higher principle because of which the planets are going around the sun and are not dashing into the sun. You may call it centripetal, centrifugal force, but it is some force, some power. Whose power? So that X factor, we call it Tad, we call it Ishvara. See? So Om is addressing the Jiva in essence. Tad is addressing the Ishvara or the Paramatma, which is for us, those who are God, who are devotees, for them God, okay, that Paramatma. For yogis, the Paramatma. For devotees, the Ishvara. For jnanis, the Brahman. So that is Tad. And Sad, Om Tat Sad. Sad is what? Truth. Sad is what? Existence. And where is this existence? So we have addressed Om with regards to Jiva, Tat with regards to Ishvara, and Sat, existence, with regards to the Jagat. So what is the essence of the Jiva? Om. What is the essence of the name of the Ishvara? Tat, that, Brahman, totality, infinity. And what is the nature of the world? Sat. And all these three are one. But where are we lost? Where are we lost? We are lost in name and form. We are not looking at Sat when we are looking around. Even when you are listening to me here or looking at me, is your attention on the truth or is your attention on the dadi mein kitne safed, how many more white hair have come in Swamiji's in one day, in 1 week? Or he said this last week towards the end, yes, I remember, and he is repeating it again. Or is your attention on the constant principle? Swami is, Ravi is, laptop is, Zoom is, world is, Ishvara is, individual is. That is the Sat, existence. In this way, understand, the name of the game is somehow convert the entire experience into a divine one. Whether it is within, whether it is beyond, or whether it is a pratyaksha as regards the world. So now in the 25th verse, we will address Tat. And here the verse says, where are we now? Verse says, Tadityanabhisandhaya phalam yajñatapa kriyaha dana kriyascha vividhaha kriyante mokshakankshibihi. तदित्यनभिसन्धाय फलं यज्ञतपक्रियाः दानक्रियाश्च विविधाः क्रियन्ते मोक्षकाङ्क्षिभिः. He says, by uttering tad and without seeking award, what comes after any project, what comes after any karma, or what happens after a kriya, after any activity. If it is a activity done with ownership, it becomes karma. But whenever we do something, we expect something. If I have eaten the food just now, I have eaten. Why? Because Om Tat Sat was not so said, Om Brahmarpanam Brahmavi was not said. So I am eating and now I am satisfied. Isn't it? So there is a expectation of a result. And whether there is expectation or no expectation, every activity will give some result or the other. Whether it is conducive or not conducive, that is not up to you. It's not up to you. You have no you can say you have control, and you can also say you have no control. When you are a beginner, we say you have control. So at least you make some efforts. But by the time you come to 17th chapter, we say you have no control. Everything is His grace. Everything is, He is doing it. He is the prompter. He is the maintainer. He is the destroyer. He is the giver of the result. But initial stages, we have to say that you can change your destiny. We have to say, otherwise the seeker, if the person will not seek that which is for his greatest good, which is Atma Sakshatkar, he will never seek it. He will be involved in the world of names and forms. He will be involved in past and future. So here it is told, by uttering Tat and without seeking award, the various acts, award for what? For Yajna Dana Tapa. So don't stop only Yajna Dana Tapa. No, all activities. Only 3 are mentioned here, but all other activities. And you can put it in another way, that all activities are included in these 3. You can put it that way also. Because every act is a sacrifice. Whether you accept it or don't accept it, it is a sacrifice. The Paramatma is continuously sacrificing himself to become many. And a seeker is continuously sacrificing himself to dissolve himself, to be the Paramatma. See, both ways sacrifice is going on. The moment waker wakes up, he is ready to sacrifice himself so that he can merge into sleep. Every day. So it's the how you look at everything, and that acumen you have to develop. And that is why we come to satsang, or we keep taking satsang after satsang, different approaches, different Upanishads, same theme, same reality is expounded, but from different angles, because we don't know which one will catch our imagination, and we are on fire then. You looked at your partner and you were on fire. You got married. So here also, which verse, which thought, which idea, which contemplation is the igniting spark, and then you are a gone case after that. It's a healthy thing, don't worry. So anyway, we are not okay. By uttering Tat and without seeking award, the various acts of sacrifice and austerity, as also acts of charity, are performed by those desiring liberation. Meaning that all the acts that are done as are done with the attitude, with the awareness that infinite reality alone is giving the result for the actions which were done in the previous verse. You understand? So in the 24th verse, we did the actions and preceded the action, during the action and after the action we chanted Om. Now every action will give result. We are not taking the ownership of the result. We are seeing it as not only as a prasad of the Lord, we are seeing it as expression of the Lord also. So wherever, if we are a beginner, prasad of the Lord. As we grow and become quieter within, then we'll see it is the Lord alone appearing as that prasad. When we do these small shifts within our approach to life, see, so when we are told Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, Guru Devo, Acharya Devo Bhava and Atithi Devo Bhava, what is this? Mother is God, father is God, Guru is God, guest is God. It is not just like that. The God alone is expressing as mother in one's life at the beginning of when their life begins. Then the father that God alone comes in as the father who teaches discipline. But child will never learn from the father. So he is sent to the Guru. Then that Lord alone appears as the Guru Maharaj in their life. Father and mother nourishes, father gives him some discipline, but they are attached to the child as my child, so that they don't become attached to their children. The child is sent away, boarding school, Gurukul, and in the Gurukul, the student under the tutelage of the Guru Maharaj, he is given the vision. He is taught. What is he taught? That divine who first appeared in your life as mother, then as father, then as the teacher. Now, in the Gurukul, he is taught to expand his mind, so that any person who comes to him is the Lord alone, Atithi Devo Bhava. It is not Guru, mother is God, mother is not God. God is expressing as mother. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara. Brahma is Guru, and no, Guru alone, the Guru Tattva alone is appearing in our life as Brahmaji, as Vishnu, as Shiva. Water alone is expressing as the ocean and the wave. We can't say ocean is water and wave is water. That connotes that water is in the ocean. No, ocean is in the water. Brahma is in the Guru Tattva. No, in Guru Tattva Brahmaji is. In the space the whole universe is. In the space this house space is. Change your angle of approach. See what magic will happen then. Not only in the class. So now Jnaneshwar Maharaj says, जे सर्वा ही जगा परौते जे एक सर्व ही देखते ते तत्शब्दे बोलिजे ते पैल वस्तु ते सर्वाधिकत्वे चित्ती तद्रूप ध्यावूनियाम सुमति उच्चारे ही व्यक्ति आणिति पुढति. He says that which is beyond the world and which is witness to all things is the Supreme Brahman known by the name Tat. Now, I have already given you the background. Whether you call it Paramatma, whether you call it Ishvara for the devotees, or Paramatma for the yogis, or Brahman for the Jnanis. That which is beyond the world. So when we say Jeev Jagat Ishwar, a common man, how does he look at the God? Oh my God, somewhere, oh, Pahima, Pahima, where is he? Above the clouds. Where is the heaven? Above the clouds. Where is the. Somewhere beyond. Somewhere beyond. It is not possible to be in the world. No, 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 no. Then what is in the world, in the temple? His pratima is there. His pratima is there. His expression is there. But where is God? Oh, he is beyond the world. Isn't that our disposition? So that which is beyond the world and which is witness to all things. So who is this Paramatma? Who is this Brahman? He is the eternal witness. जे एक सर्व ही देखते. Unflinching. This happens within us. It happens when. No, I can't use this example. This is limited example. This is only happening in the mind. Who is the witness? The one who knows. Waking, dream, sleep and samadhi are coming and going. That is the eternal witness. And you know that every day waking, dream and sleep is going on. Now the question is, are you brave enough to sincerely go deep into inquiry? Who is this fellow? Why am I not able to catch him? Why cannot I be able to be that? Who is the witness of the three states? I know I am. I know these three come and go every day. It requires a very, very delicate operation. Very, very delicate. No, there tamas and rajas will not work. You need to be extremely sattvic, means extremely calm, cool, collected, focused, discriminative. These qualities of Vivek, Vairagya, Shatka Sampatti and Mumukshutvam, these qualities are the basis on which this fine operation can be brought about. That Vivek can be brought about. Vivek becomes more and more finer as you develop Vairagya, Shatka Sampatti, and of course they will develop only if you have Mumukshutvam. See? Mumukshutvam, urge to liberate. If someone is there who doesn't understand the Sanskrit. They, the seeker, should bear in mind that it is the origin of all, meditate upon its essential nature and pronounce it loudly and clearly. See, when we initiate children, now, beta, chant Gayatri Mantra, Om, Om, he is not confident. But when you are, so here, whether you are, it's not question of confidence. You chant loudly. Open up the Vaikhari. So when you want to chant any mantra, it should not be done in the mind. It should be chanted loudly with this awareness. What is the awareness? That this chanting is also done by him only. The expression is also his. You are not doing the chanting. See? So here he says, the seeker should bear in mind that it is the origin of all. So initially it is a conviction out of faith. And the conviction will become more and more drid, more and more, what do you call? Drid को क्या बोलते हैं यार? Firm. It will become more and more firm as you have more and more faith. So more the faith, more is your firm is your conviction. Because you are trying to be convinced about something through words and through thoughts, and you think it is something to be reached. And now it is being told that it is you only, essentially. See? Out of him the whole world has come out. So you have to approach it with faith only, till it becomes your own personal, not personal, your own direct experience. So the seekers should bear in mind that it is the origin of all. This Tat is the origin of all. What is all? When we say all means the variety, the multiplicity, the duality, the cause and effect. That is all. For us, all is all the names and forms. The Pancha Tattva, the 5 elements. Everything has emanated. All the waves have come from water. Is there any doubt? No. Exactly the same way. The entire universe, waking, dream, deep sleep and samadhi, all of these have emanated out of that one Tat, that one reality, that one Brahman. See? So, if we go back to the yesterday's verse, being one, he is appearing as many. Being one, he is supporting, he is manifesting and supporting the many. And all that many are nothing but him only. He has not become less, he has not become more because of the expression or non-expression. Because of manifestation of ocean and waves, or unmanifestation of ocean and waves. When will the ocean unmanifest? When the pralaya takes place. Then all more oceans will merge into each other. Water still remains water. See? Exactly the same way. So then he says in the 371st OV, Manati tad rupa brahmataya falesi kriya iya teci hotu amha bhoga vaya kahichi nuro aise ni tadatmake brahme tetha uganhuni karme ang jhaditi namame yene bole आता ओंकारे आदरिले तत्कारे समर्पिले या रीति जया आले ब्रह्मत्व कर्मा ते कर्म कीर ब्रह्माकारे झाले तेणे हि नसरे जे करी तेणे सी दुसरे आहे म्हणवणी मीठ वांगे जळी विरे परीक्षारता वेगळी उरे तैसे कर्म ब्रह्माकारे गमे ते द्वैत. He says, then they should say, we dedicate all these actions along with their fruit to the Brahman represented by the word Tat, with nothing left for us to enjoy. Om Brahmarpanam Brahmahavi Brahmagnau Brahmanahutam Brahmaiva tena gantavyam Brahma karma samadhina. Brahma, we dedicate or we offer all these actions along with their fruit. Brahmarpanam Brahmavi Brahmagnau Brahmanahutam. Everything is Brahman. This vision we have to develop. We have to allow it to express through us. So when will this vision of unity or unconditional love of all inclusiveness, when will this vision of Brahmarpanam Brahmavi will express through us? Another way of putting Brahmarpanam Brahmavi is Om Purnamada Purnamidam. When will it express? When we get out of the way. Who is we? The I, the ego, the individuality. The one who is saying, I am the body, I am the body. I am the waker, I am the waker. I am the seeker, I am the seeker. I have to liberate, I have to liberate. This fellow has to melt. This fellow has to dissolve. To the extent he dissolves, this I dissolves. To that extent, the infinite will express. Isn't it true? Early in the morning, the extent to which I'm talking about the phenomena, as the darkness dissolves, the light takes its place, isn't it? This is at relative level I'm talking. Similarly, as long as this seeker has to dissolve, who wants to liberate. So we dedicate all these actions along with their fruit to the Brahman. As a result, what will happen? I am neither the doer, I am not the initiator of any action, I am not the maintainer of any action, I am not the concluder of any action, and I am not the one who is looking forward to the result of the action. And whatever there is, because everything was done by the reality or is the expression of the reality, then that prasad, the result which will come, then my attention will not be on I like this result or I dislike this result. Then my attention will be that reality alone is expressing as whatever, isn't it? Just as when we go to the temple, we don't say that today's prasad was more tastier than last time or not as tasty as last time. No, whatever prasad. If you go there, if Panchamrit is finished and he gives you only the water as tirth, you are happy with that. If you get a Panchamrit, you are a little bit more happy. If you get kheer also, or he gives you a fruit, you feel more happy. It should not be that way. Today there is special kripa of the Lord. He gave me a mango, Isn't it? Whenever sometimes we are at the temple or in our home when we are doing the puja, and sometimes the flower which has been offered or decorated, and you are making a prayer and you open your eyes, and at that moment the flower falls and you feel, oh, the Lord has accepted. Isn't it? Why can't we do that in everything? That not Lord has accepted, He alone is presenting Himself as the result. But if our attention is on the Lord, on the Tat, then we are not available to the result. Understand? If our attention is on the Tat, on the reality, then we are not available to the result. Just like when we are available to the sleep, we are not available to the result of sleep. The one who wanted to sleep, one who was desiring the sleep, he doesn't experience the sleep. He vanishes. He vanishes. He doesn't say, oh, now I am sleeping. Oh, I have got the result of my long sadhana of thinking of sleep. I have realized sleep now. There is no one available there. Exactly the same way. There is no one available. If we merge into the Tat, into the reality, by offering everything to him. From that standpoint, there is no result only available, because you are not available as an individual. You are contemplating on the reality. And then he says, thus by surrendering all actions to the Brahman known as Tat, they should repudiate all responsibility for these actions by uttering the words, not mine. Remember when we do the Havan? Now I'll just come down a bit level. What is that? Om Tat Sat. See, this part, this thought was told when we said Om Tat Saditi, that verse, 23rd verse was told for those people who are not able to understand the scriptures, who are not able to invoke all the verses that were told before. So, is there any hope for them? Yes, there is. What was that? Chant Om Tat Saditi before, during and after. Now, how to do that? The 24th verse was talked about Om, and now it is being talked about from Tat point of view. And now if we take the position of the ignorant, if we take the position of the not the wise one, you are wise, I am unwise. So I take from my position. What is that? I don't understand. So what do? Whatever speech I give, whatever actions that I do, I offer it to, because I don't have the eye, I don't have the vision or the acumen to see that the infinite reality is expressing as this speech or other actions. I don't have that ability at the moment. Then what do? Get stressed, get frustrated, agitated? No. Then whatever is happening, I offer it to the reality. I offer it to Brahman. I offer it to the all-pervasive Lord. How? By surrendering all actions to the Brahman known as Tat, they should repudiate all responsibility. So idea, the name of the game is don't take any responsibility. Don't take any responsibility. Where you take responsibility, who takes? The ego takes the responsibility. The individual takes the responsibility. In the name, and how does the individual take responsibility? In the name of dharma. Isn't it my duty to take care of my children? Is it not my duty to worry about my children? Is it not my duty to make them get married? Is it wrong for a mother to think, first to decide whether you are a mother or you are a woman or you are Atma? That also, and you are sitting in satsang. See how much disservice we do to ourselves. Because our position is wrong. We listen to satsang, but inside the commentary is going from body point of view. Because of default settings. So give up all responsibilities. That everything that is happening is by His will. He is responsible. To some of you, not some of you, I think all of you, I have given that in quest of God. Even our Gundavlekar Maharaj said, once take the name of the Lord and give yourself an opportunity to live at His mercy. Go away from home, wherever, and live only at His mercy. Take His name and nothing else. If the food comes, eat. If it doesn't come, don't worry. If sleep comes, sleep. If it doesn't come, don't worry. Keep remembering Him. For one day, begin with 1 day, then 2 days, then after a few months again 3 days, 4 days. Keep increasing the duration. See the joy. Papa Ramdas, he left. For 9 years he was living like that. We want to take permission from everyone whom we know. Darling, can I go to the Himalayas? Can I go to Varanasi? I want to spend 5 days by myself. The darling says, I will also come with you, darling. हो गया, संसार शुरू हो गया वाराणसी में. There is no soulmate business. All that is humbug. Me and my wife, we will do it together. Nothing like this. It's the journey of the one, in the one, by the one, to the one. It's not a soulmate. चलो हाथ में हाथ डाल के we'll meditate together. We'll realize together. Whom are you fooling? So yeah, we went away from the topic a little bit, but you get the point. What is that? That we give up all responsibility to the infinite divine reality. For this you need courage, because we have been so programmed to take ownership. We have been so deeply programmed. The moment you say it is the Lord wish, the wife will show you who the Lord is. Acha, let the Lord make the tea. Acha, let the Lord make the dinner. Acha, let the Lord wash the clothes. So very quickly you realize wife is the Lord. Back to earth. There goes your experiment. But at least you realize that. At least you realize that. So the experiment was successful. Huh? So they should give up. They should give up all responsibility for these actions by uttering the words "not mine." When we do havan, when we do puja, there also we say "idanna mama," "indraya swaha," "idanna mama," "varunaya swaha," "idanna mama," "agnaye swaha," "idanna mama." I do not take responsibility. Why, when you can do it in havan, why not in your daily life? When you are seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, tasting, this is the havan kund, the stimuli of form are coming. Idanna mama. I am not seeing the Paramatma. The reality is the form and the reality is the seer within. You watch what drama unfolds. The ears are the havan kund and the sounds are the ahuti falling in. Idanna mama. I am not hearing. Hearing is happening. Seeing is happening. Tasting is happening. Smelling is happening. Thinking is happening. Waking is happening. Dreaming is happening. Sleeping is happening. Birth is happening. Death is happening. Now where are you in between suddenly, idiot? Moodaha. Govindam bhaja moodhamate. You stupid fool. Everything is happening. Unnecessarily you have taken the ownership and created a mess of your life. And how did you begin the ownership? By taking the ownership, I am only this body. Drama begins. See, catch the joke in all this. How we have fooled ourselves. We only decided to forget the Lord, and we only decided to become miserable, and now we are only deciding I don't want to be miserable, and we are only continuing to be miserable by not giving up the ownership of misery. Because miseries are many. God, divine is one. If you hold on to the divine, maybe solution comes. But if you hold, the fact of the matter is, you don't want to give up the misery because it makes you feel comfortable. देखो, and therefore a smart seeker, the उत्तम अधिकारी, he will give up he will surrender all actions at the feet of the divine, uttering the words "not mine." So not mine you understood, idanna mama. Then Now the action commenced by uttering the word Om and surrendered to God by uttering the word Tat may seem to have become one with Brahman. See, what do we say? If you have noticed, people say that today's children, what do they say? I don't like this. I'm not productive here. I need to change. I'm not making an impact in what I'm doing. I'm not enjoying. I dislike the boss. I dislike the work. But I need money, but I'm waiting for a new job to go to. And they're going from one company to the other company to the. And what is what is the scripture saying? Bhagwan says, don't give up action and seek some other person's action. Then what do? Whatever action you are doing, do it joyfully. One step further, whatever action is happening within you, let it be an expression of joy. People say, I love, what is that? Whatever is being done, love it. Not do what you love. That is how they say. Don't do what you like, but love what you do. This is the formula. And that is what is told here. That when the action, and here when he says that now the action commenced by uttering the word Om and surrendered to God by uttering the word Tat may seem to have become one. So when the doer and the act, that which is being done, when they merge into each other, when they mingle into each other, the doer doesn't feel that he is doing the act. What happens then? Whole day passes in a second. When the doer and the activity are separate, then 1 second seems like a whole day. But where the doer and the action, where the activity is, there your mind is, and you are merged into it, you are at one ment with it, without any doubts, without any distractions. Then how the day goes, you don't know. That is what is told here, that may seem to have become one with Brahman, but it is not so. This is because the egoistic feeling or duality still remains in the doer of the action. So here Jnaneshwar Maharaj is saying, it may seem to be that the time has passed very quickly. You may feel at one, and you may feel at one ment with the activity, but somewhere the remnant of ego is still there. The doer is still there. So, where are we? This is because the egoistic feeling or duality still remains in the doer of the action. Salt certainly gets dissolved in water, but its saltish taste remains behind. To think that action has become one with Brahman is itself duality. Now this is a major big shift in thinking. This is major one big shift in thinking. Let's begin. How to see it. ईशावास्यमिदगं सर्वं यत्किञ्चित् जगत्यां जगत् ओम पूर्णमदा पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते. What does this both these verses say, and what has previously also in this what did they say? That there is only one reality, isn't it? There is only one water, there is only one space. Same way, there is only one reality. Now, there is only one rope. On the rope, the ghost is fluttering away. So when you see a ghost on the post or you see a snake on the rope, is the post moving? No. Is the rope moving? No. Then who is moving? The ghost on the post seems to have the form, he seems to have the eyes, he seems to have the arms and fingers and all imagination. So what was it? The ghost was imagined on the post. Why? Because you did not recognize the post as a post. Same way, the snake was moving, the snake was hissing, the snake bit, you had the reaction. But is the rope moving? No. Is the rope moving? No. So where is the movement? Where is the snake and the movement of the snake? As an individual, just like the ghost was superimposed, imagined on the post, the snake was imagined or superimposed on the rope. Understand? Clear? Now, what is the reality? Reality is unmoving, it is constant, it is unchanging, it is eternal. And what is your experience of the world? Changing, moving. Now, if those two examples were clear, that the ghost, the form was imagined, the ghost was imagined on, the movement was imagined on the stationary post. The movement of the snake and the hissing of the snake was imagined on the stationary rope. Exactly the same way, the entire world of Jeev Jagat Ishwar is imagined, is superimposed on that constant principle. And what is that constant principle? Om Tat Sat. So, now let's come to the point. It was told, by action we cannot reach reality. Now, where is activity happening? Is it happening in the post or in the ghost? In the ghost. Where is the activity happening? In the rope or in the snake? In the snake, not in the rope. Where is activity happening? In Jeev Jagat Ishwar or in the constant principle, the Paramatma? In the Jeev Jagat Ishwar. Now, all activity is happening. Now take position of the post. From the post point of view, is there any ghost? No. From the rope point of view, is there any snake? No. Which means for the post there is no ghost and its resultant activity also absent for the post. Similarly, for the rope also there is no snake and the resultant activity of hissing and moving and biting, all that is absent from the point of view of the rope. From the point of view of space, there is nothing called air, fire, water, earth. From the point of view of sun, there is nothing called the movement of day and night. or sunrise and sunset from sun's point of view. We say we are superimposing sun rises, sun sets. Sun neither rises nor sets. It's an optical illusion. Just like that ghost on the post was an optical illusion. The ornament on the gold is an optical illusion. Same way, where is the activity happening? In the world, in the Jeev Jagat Ishwar. From the reality point of view, is there Jeev Jagat Ishwar? You have to bite the bullet and tell the truth to yourself. But because if you say yes, then you will say there is no God also, there is no world also. Oh, Mapre, I can't handle this. But appreciate, okay, I am not there yet. I'll continue to pray, I'll continue to go to the temple, because in the end everything is Paramatma, nothing is outside Paramatma. Then what is imagined on the Paramatma? What is imagined on the Paramatma? The name and form. All activity is in the name and form. All activity is in the name and form. And therefore, our scriptures say that activity cannot take you to the reality. As much sadhana the snake can do to purify himself, he can never come to know the rope by activity. Because his nature is rope. But his attention, if he is thinking I have to do something, then he is identified with the body. What is that body of the snake? An imaginary body of the snake. Actually it is rope. So who is doing activity there and here? The individual. Through what he is doing the activity? Through this body, breath, mind, intellect, equipment. Where is he doing the activity? In this world of time, space and objectivity. Prompted by whom? The nature of the imagination is activity. Wherever the body comes, Maya, remember Maya or Prakriti, its nature is manifestation and unmanifestation. That itself is movement. So where is movement? At the equipment level. And who are you? You are at the same time. Just like at the same time you are a woman also and you are a wife also. Same way at the same time you are the Atma also and you are the Jivatma also. You are the infinite reality and at the same time you feel you are, because you are identified with the body, you feel you are a Jivatma, the individual. Then what you have to do? As much activity, yoga, pranayama, dharana, dhyan, samadhi you do, you can never come to realize. By meditation you cannot come to realize. By nirvikalpa samadhi you cannot come to realize yourself. So should we not do it? No, continue, at least better than going to sleep. Do samadhi abhyas. Somewhere it will click. So by karma, by kriya, by activity, we cannot come to know the reality. Now, another point I will tell you. The reality is self-knowing. It is of the nature of chit. It is self-conscious. It is self-knowing. Then how can karma, by doing something I will come to know the reality? There is a distance to be reached, traversed, and then the destination is the reality. It is not possible. No amount of activity done by the ghost will reveal the post to the ghost. And the one who is miserable is the ghost, The one who is miserable is the wife or the husband or the brother or the son or the mother or the father. Man and woman are not miserable. No amount of activity, duty, responsibility you carry out as a husband can reveal the man to you. Because husband is the first mistake. He has forgotten that he is the man and he is looking at himself through the mirror of wife. Therefore he is husband. He is the projection. Exactly the same way. We have to decide. We are, as Panchadashi says, are we the Gaunatma, are we the Mithyatma, or are we the Mukhyatma? Gaunatma, are we the brother, sister, husband, wife, father, mother, all the relations? If we are deciding, no, I am not all that, I have to do something, I have to do puja, I have to do japa, I have to do this, to do that, to realize the truth, I have to meditate. Then it is told, you are the Mithyatma. The doer is, you can do only through the equipment, body, breath, mind, intellect. And when you have accepted the body, breath, mind, intellect as I, it is the Mithyatma. It is the illusory self. The first one, father, mother, daughter, sister, that was the virtual. This is the illusory self. And what is your true nature? The actual self, which is the Mukhyatma. So at this moment, while listening, it's just a question of disposition. At this moment I can never not be Mukhyatma. But if I give attention to the Lord, I am a devotee. If I give attention to the wife, I am a husband. If I give attention to the children, I am a father. Where am I giving attention to? And therefore, as we saw yesterday in the Ishavasya Upanishad, our attention is softly, gently taken by the Upanishad to two contradictory opposites. The truth is inside and outside. It is moving and yet it's running without moving. Contradiction. So you cannot reach a destination in a contradiction. And the ego dissolves. The doer dissolves. The seeker dissolves. Okay, so here when Jnaneshwar Maharaj says, this is because the egoistic feeling of duality still remains in the doer. When we are doing, even if I am saying, I offer all the actions, I chant Om before the activity, I chant the action to the Tat, I offer the result also to the Tat, but I am offering, no? There is an offerer. That is the ego. Wherever seer, hearer, toucher, taster, thinker, speaker, all these are ending in er. This is the error that we are making. Mahatmas, realized masters do not make this error. They see without becoming the seer. They don't become the seer. They don't become the thinker. They don't become the waker. If waking is happening, let it happen. It's happening at the equipment level, let it happen. Space doesn't stop the clouds from forming and then dissolving. Let it happen. Have you stopped waking dream sleep? In your entire life, have you been successful? You may have extended it by few hours, but you have not been able to stop it because it's a phenomena. It comes and goes. You have to recognize that you are not the phenomena. You are the one who is witnessing the phenomena. That eternal witness is Tat. And if we take that position, then phenomena is always changing. The eternal witness is never changing. He is never changing. He is the constant. Salt certainly gets dissolved in water, but its saltish taste remains behind. To think that action has become one with Brahman is itself duality. So, when we become addicted to yoga and you do a little bit of pranayama like a monkey, and then after so much of breathing, naturally you are exhausted, you will feel quiet and you will, I think pranayam put me to meditation. Then you start doing mantra, Om Tat Sat, Om Tat Sat, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, and you keep chanting, Vaikhari Madhyama Pashyanti Para. And after exhausting over few weeks or few months, and then I think my decision to chant the mantra and I listened to Amrit Anubhav, Vaikhari Madhyama Pashyanti Para, I think that has really worked, from gross to subtle, subtle to causal, causal to transcendental. I think this is the way I will follow. You have lost the plot. Because you began with action and now you are having a disposition where you are convinced that your action which started with Vaikhari led you to meditation. Wrong conclusion. Self is not a result of any activity. Self is independent. It supports all activity. Just like the sun supports the coming and going of the sunrise and sunset, or day and night. But from its point, there is no day and night, and there is no movement of day and night. There is no movement of sunrise and sunset from the sun's point of view. It does not come and go. It is self-existing. In that example, that much. Same way, the self that I am, the reality that is essentially is the essence, is ever. It cannot be a result of any action. Does it mean that I do not do any action? No, continue. Continue. And somewhere it will click. Somewhere it will click. Oh, if activity is not there. But do you know how not to do activity? I am not going to do activity. Try not doing any activity. Disconnect from all activity. पागल हो जाओगे 2 मिनट में. Because we have not trained ourselves to watch the activity. We become the actor when activity is taking place. Seeing is taking place, we become the seer. Thinking is taking place, we become the thinker. Waking is taking place, we become the waker. We become the erroneous personality. We have to initially we have to put efforts. And those efforts must lead to effortlessness. And then we will realize, when we come to that threshold, we will realize whether there is effort or there is no effort. I continue to be as I am. Efforts and no effortlessness is only at the mind level. It is not at the Atmic level. Atma is the witness who is watching the mind perform the activity. Isn't it true at this moment? You are watching your mind listening. Now I didn't say anything for last 3-4 seconds. Your mind is watching the silence. So you are the constant principle. to shortchange yourself. To shortchange yourself, or to have this disposition that self is a result of action, is a great disservice that you are doing to yourself. And therefore it is told, begin all activity with Om, perform all activity with Tat. Okay, Sat will come in the next verse. And accept all the prasad as Tat only, as that only, or from him. So, in that sense, I am not the doer. The initiator of the activity was him, the maintainer of the activity was him, the concluder of the activity was him, and the result that came from that activity was also him. Slowly, as a result of this, I am taking one step back and watching, when my attention is on him, on that infinite. Continuing, you understood this point? If you understood, you did not understand. Because this is this idea. Remember, Ishavasya Upanishad also began like this. First verse is for the purified one, and the second verse, Kurvanneveha Karmani, is for the one who is not able to give up body identification. Then what was it told? Exactly what is being told here was told in the second verse of Ishavasya Upanishad, that he is the doer of all action. Kurvanneveha Karmani. If he is the doer of all activity, then there will be no desire. He is the doer, he is the maintainer, he is the destroyer, he is the giver of results. Everything in life is happening by him only. And this is the way to purify the individual, the ego. Continuing, where are we? 76th verse. 76th OV. आणि तुझे जव जव घडे तव तव संसार भय जोडे हे देवो आपुलेनी तोडे बोलती वेद म्हणवनी परत्वे ब्रह्म असे ते आत्मत्वे परीयवसे सत्शब्द या निर्णा दोषे ठेविला देवे तरी ओंकार तत्कारी कर्म कैले जे ब्रह्म शरीरी जे प्रशस्तादी बोलवरी वाखाणिले प्रशस्त कर्मीतिये सत्शब्दा विनियोगू आहे तोची ऐका होय तैसा सांगो. He says, so long as this consciousness of duality lasts, the mundane existence continues to daunt us. So said the Lord with his own mouth, and this is also declared by the Vedas. And why only the Lord? All realized masters are saying the same thing. This commentary of Bhagavad Gita is given by Jnaneshwar Maharaj, and the Amrit Anubhav, which is his own penning down of his experience of realization, there also same thought is being is told. He also says the same thing. All masters speak the same language. The principles cannot be different for different masters. Now, do you have the eye to see who is the master? No. So don't run after masters. Get their blessings and dissolve within yourself. So as long as the consciousness of duality lasts, the sansar will not be over for you. So where there is duality, where is subject and object, if that is maintained by a seeker, till then sansar is not over for this person. And that subject and object can be, I am the seeker, and the object of the object that I am seeking is realization. And as long as that object of realization is kept separate from the subject, sansar continues. Then you will build ashrams, then you will start organizations. And what do we need to do? This subject, he has to, then what is the object that he is seeking? When the subject seeks the subject as the object, where the eyes are seeing, they are illuminating everything. They have to make an, I'm just using that word here for explanation, the eyes are trying to illuminate themselves. So subject is the eye, the vision, and object is all the forms. Now the eye is trying to illuminate itself. Then subject is the eye and the object is also the eye, physical eye. Now come to the actual capital I, the ego. The I, instead of thinking about I can do pranayama, I can do yoga, I can do japa, I can do this, I can do meditation. No. Tattvamasi, you are that. Oh, I am that. Oh my God, I am that. Oh, I am. I, the individual, is infinite. Oh my God. So I have become the subject. I, the subject. And for him, the object is given as I, the totality. So now I is seeking I. Then, and if this is done with faith, and when I is seeking I, then is there any necessary to think? Then the thought will die. I will continue because I indicates something, no? I indicates the consciousness. But that consciousness was being interpreted as aham and idam. Now, aham is aham and he is seeking the idam as I. Somewhere it will click. This is foolish journey, man. Why should I seek myself? I am me. And when there are no distractions in the mind, and very coolly, calmly he comes to this conclusion at that very, and doesn't go to sleep. At that moment everything is over. The thought aspect that I am seeking the I, this thought also goes away. But I continues to be, because I has never, the true I, the Atman, it has never gone. It only drops away the skin, like the snake sheds the skin. The thought aspect is dropped away. Vritti Rahit Aham is realization. Vritti, thought. Rahit, without. Aham, I. I without a thought is realization. And that is your constant natural disposition. It is not something that you are going to gain. All the sadhana is to drop. Tyage naike amritatva manashu. There today only we were chanting na karmana na prajaya dhanena tyage naike amritatva manashu. Na karmana. Upanishads are saying, Kaivalya Upanishad it comes, Mahanarayana Upanishad it comes, na karmana. Immortality is not gained by action, not by progeny, not by wealth. Then how? By renunciation. Renunciation of what? Renunciation of objectivity. So is declared by the scriptures, and so is declared by Lord Sri Krishna, and so is declared by all the great realized masters. The syllable Sat is reserved for the purpose that one should not feel oneself as distinct from Brahman. How do we know? Brahman is, Atma is, world is. Remember, existence is the common denominator. So Sat is reserved for the purpose that one should not feel oneself as distinct from Brahman, but should experience one's unity with it. When the action begun by uttering the word Om and continued by uttering the word Tat becomes only one with Brahman, with the elimination of the egoistic feeling that I am the doer. This is what I have been explaining for last half an hour. This karta has to dissolve. I am the doer. It is praised as right action. So, all action that we are doing in life, if it is leading to the dissolution of the doer, if it is leading to concluding in thinning the ego, or bringing you to a disposition, hey man, I am not the doer, he is the doer, then we are going in the right direction. Then we are purifying. Otherwise, one action done with egocentric activity, with ownership, it will lead to more stronger ego in the next action. I shall now explain how the word Sat is specially applied in regards to right action. So what is right action? Right action is that where the I am the doer, this dissolves. That is right action. And for that, what was the step that was taken? The step was begin every activity with Om, maintain the activity as being maintained by the divine, not by you. It is maintained by him, and the result of the activity as also the expression of the result of the divine only. Then it is right action. Then it is right action. And in this way, this is step by step. The Bhagwan, see the compassion of Bhagwan Krishna. He is not leaving anyone behind. He is not leaving anyone behind. Those who are the most tamasic, for them also he has given away. Those who are rajasic, he has given them away. Those who are sattvic, he is telling them what they need to refine so that they transcend the sattva also. And those who are not, cannot understand, I don't understand, sattva, rajas, tamas is too much for me. Okay Baba, for you also there is something. This is the compassion of our scriptures and the Lord. Because their disposition is all inclusive. So they don't see you, they don't see the gods and they don't see the asuras. They don't see the philanthropists and they don't see the murderers as I like this fellow and I don't like that fellow. No, everything is him only. Just like a mother, she loves her because it has come out of her blood and bone. The child, she loves unconditionally that child. Whether he is a great scientist or philosopher or a sannyasi or he is a murderer, still it is my child. Love doesn't diminish. Well, it is included in the I. For Lord, for that infinite, the entire is included in within it. So how there is no sense of difference. Hence, unconditional love and compassion. Unconditional love. When we grow in this manner, then we have matured. Then we have lived our life correctly. Otherwise, तू मैं कबड्डी चलती रहती है. Now we are 30, 40, 50, 60 years old and still this is mine, this is not yours. We have to come to this position where everything is included. Nothing is rejected and nothing is retained. Remember what I keep saying this? Accept everything, reject nothing, retain nothing. This Upanishad only tells. So this I, this Atma, this essence that I am, this Om Tat Sat that is, that Brahman that is, that Paramatma that is, its nature is what? It accepts everything, rejects nothing, retains nothing. If we are not growing in that direction as a seeker, then we need to reassess where the shortfall is in our disposition. We have to again realign. Otherwise, we will start from Perth to go to South Africa, and if we have not aligned our compass, our sails, we will reach Timbuktu. The pirates will catch hold of you. Where is South Africa? Oh, thousands of kilometers south. So very quickly we can get disoriented and fall back into the world. So therefore, extreme alertness. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Just sit quietly for a second or two.